What's going on, guys? This is Simple Fury here, and today I wanted to do a little bit of story time on smoking weed. Now, this is kind of a scary thing to talk about because I don't have a lot of good memories of me using this drug, but I just thought I'd make a video on it because drug videos have been blowing up on other commentator channels like Leafy, so I thought I'd just give it a shot and see how it goes. Now, this all started back in December of 7th grade. I remember I was with my first brother, we'll call him Brian, and in my second brother's room, we'll call him Tim. So I was hanging out with my brother Brian in Tim's room. Tim wasn't there. I think he was at like a party with his friends or something. But I remember my brother Brian and I were talking, and he brings up the fact that I always thought he was joking, but I guess he was serious that he smokes weed. So then he goes into my brother's desk drawer and pulls out this Nike shoebox, and he opens it up, and there's like 2 pipes in there and like some prescription bottles with some weed in it. And he's not cannabis, he doesn't have a card or anything. They were just, I guess, things he kept them in. So he wasn't like legally allowed to smoke this. But anyway, later that day, my brother Tim comes home from his whatever he was at, and so I just told him, I was like, hey, I found out, I saw your box, and he was all cool about it. I'm pretty sure he knew I wouldn't really tell anyone on him. But, so then I asked him if we could smoke. So he says, yeah, he tells me to go get Brian, and we go up to Tim's room, and he pulls out the same box, and we just smoke a little bit. It wasn't that much to get high at all, like, no one got high. But I remember it was, like, really hard to sort of breathe, I guess. Like, every time you'd inhale it, you'd just be coughing, and then they'd all tell me to shut the hell up because my grandma was sleeping in, like, a couple rooms later. This was in my grandma's house, because that's where my brother Tim lived at that time. So we were just in there and nothing happens. But we go to bed, and then the next day, my grandma's gone, because this was on Martin Luther King Day. She had to go to work. Everybody was at work. And so we were just there, and my brother Tim invites some of his friends over. And I've never met any of these friends of his, probably because we're all stoners, but he invites them over, and they come over, and they just start smoking, and then he tells them it's cool, like, I smoke too. So he just has like sort of this party of like 5 people come over, and we just spent the day smoking. We smoked so much. Like, thinking back at this was a lot of weed, but I didn't know because I didn't know really anything. But we smoked a couple joints, and we put it in a pipe, and just didn't really get that experimental or anything. But we were just smoking, and nothing happened. But I remember I was trying to act like something happened, but actually nothing happened to me. So I didn't get high at all, and I'm pretty sure everybody knew, but that was kind of the end of that day. I had to go home, and I had to change clothes and stuff because my brother didn't want the smell of weed to come off to my dad, and my parents were at home. So then, I'd say like a month or so later, I'm with my brother, and he has his friend come over, and he pulls out this thing from his desk, and this was like a Laffy Taffy. So I hadn't smoked in between this time and the time before, but he pulled out like this Laffy Taffy. It was like this bar of Laffy Taffy, and I was with him, with Tim, my brother, and his friend. We'll call him Bryant. His friend Bryant. So I was with them, and I think actually, wait, no, it wasn't his friend Bryant, it was his friend, we'll call him, gosh, don't know what to call him. We'll call him Kev. So that's probably really obvious, but Kev and him, we all take this taffy, which was weed, edible, which is apparently like 3 times the amount of weed that would normally be in anything. So we don't take this, and then it just takes a while to take effect. It was like a couple hours till anything happened, but it was like probably an hour and like 30 minutes. But then I remember I started thinking of these little like white people, like they weren't like the skin color white, they were just like white figures. And I remember them, they would like run in to things like small places because they were small. It was kind of like the Nintendo game Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. Like they were like tiny and they could go into anything. So I guess that's when I first started thinking I was high. I hadn't been high before, but so then that starts happening, and then everything just turns it out to be really funny. Like everything is funny. So then Kev was kind of having a bad high. He was getting over like a breakup or something. But me and my brother Tim, we were just having the time of our lives. So we go downstairs, right? And I remember I was kind of feeling I was like losing a feeling of in my knees. Like I couldn't feel my knees, so I had to like wobble down the stairs. But then my freaking brother Tim couldn't even feel his legs. He had to crawl down the stairs. This was all like the funniest thing in the world at this moment. We laughed so much. So I got some pizza and I guess he cooked chicken strips or something. But what happened was, it's kind of funny looking back at it, but we were laughing and then we started pretending like we were on some kind of like survival TV show. We're like, day 56 of survival, and it was just really stupid stuff, but everything was funny, and that's really what happened. I guess it was a good time, but I don't know, I don't really like smoking weed. I got caught maybe a couple months later or so, that kind of ruined it, and I haven't smoked weed since. But yeah, guys, that's my story of smoking weed, and I guess getting caught smoking weed. Let me know if you guys have any experiences with drugs down in the comments, and remember, I don't support drug use. I'm just telling you guys stupid stories of me using drugs and when I really shouldn't have. But yeah, guys, it's been Simple Fury. Peace.